Hello everybody, hope y'all having another blessed day. In today's video, we're going to be having a ban list discussion. Because it's right around the corner if you didn't know, it is mid-April right now on the day I'm making this video. And the next ban list should be coming out either late April or early May. Alright, so today, give my thoughts on basis of cards I think should get banned, should get limited, should be unlimited, or come off the ban list. So with that in mind, let's get into it. So we're going to start off with some cards I think should potentially go to 0 or get banned. Now, I'm talking about stuff going to ban. That basically just means it's a card that's either really good in the game, basically almost guarantees a win, or really needs to change to kind of help the meta because among decks making it really too good, or to help against future metas. So start off. Mention Fissure. Card since any monster, or says any monster into gravity is banished instead. It's a card that a lot of people have seen in the side deck right now, so you can side in going first. And basically comes a 1-card win. If you can make your combo deck and then play this at the end of your turn, that basically shuts off your opponents from any type of interaction. It's going to win you the game. Alright, even if your deck somehow gets hit a little bit and you can't open up your full combo, finishing with this still gets you the win. Now, we do see a card similar to this. This is going to be Dimension Shifter. So we just type in Shifter. It is a card that's currently at 1. Alright. And it's a good reason it's at 1. It's a very strong card. Also, like Fissure, does win you the games. The only catch is this one does have a turn off phase that you can play it made over first turn or go in second. It hurts you for 1 turn, but if you can survive the counter attack, you can maybe win, and it does impact your opponent too. Unlike Fissure, though, it will stay on there as long as the card stays on the field. So it's a lot stronger than Shifter, in my opinion, even though you can't use it going second, but it can easily win you the game going first. Second, Anti-Spell Fragrance. This card has been going from limited to banned. I think it's been banned sometimes. It's been at free for a little bit before when Sky Striker I think was really good for a while to counter Sky Strikers, and now it's back to 1. It's a card I think its time in light should come to an end. It's a very strong card. Basically, if you play this card, if you just get like Fissure, you side it in going first. You play it, your opponent basically cannot use any spell cards at least to the turn after. So it shuts down half your opponent's deck. So again, you make a moderate combo board with 1 or 2 interruptions. Basically, you may have a hand trap and 1 interruption on the board. You play this card, you're probably going to win the game. It's a card, if it does see play, it almost guarantees to win. It has a very high win percentage. So because of that, it needs to go. Now, next card we have is Hornet Drone. This is a new one here. It's seen itself from going from unlimited to 1 just to kind of nerf Sky Striker. It is kind of a 1-card starter. But it's not for Sky Striker why it's getting banned. It's getting banned because of Yummy. This card, if the new cards come out, does make it a 1-card combo. If you didn't know, right now, you have Yummy as a really strong card right now. A really strong deck. And Cup C is really broken. Because of the fact you can treat link one monster you control as a level 1 tuner. Alright? And then you need 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner to summon this card. And it's level 2, so you need something to be level 1 and another level 1 to make this card. Well, Hornet Drones, when you play it, you get a level 1 token. You go into, let's say, Sky Striker, was it Kigari? Something like that? Sky, I can't even spell. Isn't that funny, guys? Alright. So Sky Striker, and it is a Kigari. Yep. You play Kigari. Look at that. Add a Sky Striker spell back to your hand. Play Hornet Drones again. It's not once per turn. You got link 1. That lets it turn it into a level 1 tuner, and you have a level 1 token. Boom, you got full Yummy combo. Alright, and you can also splash it into stuff, like if you go and play, what's it called, a Camellia. It's a really strong card too, you seem to play. Alright, basically when it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a monster opponent controls, and basically, opponent's control spells on this card to your opponent's field, but shift control your opponent's card, blah blah blah, during end phase, yada 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 yada. Alright, so it's a strong card too. If also gets to play, you can go into this card first, then into Kigari, and kind of go off from there. Alright, so very strong. This card sold. That card even needs to go. Alright, or if Hornet Drones is not going to get hit, since it is the bridge piece currently in the meta, you could also see is Cup C Yummy going away, right? Which would very much hurt Yummy as a whole, because this is the one when it's played, gives you basically 2 Rotas to your hand. Right, which can also be seen as a problem too, maybe to 1, maybe to 0. Now, next card you can see maybe getting hit. Alright, these are all actually a set of free. Now, we've already seen on the ban list right now that we have seen essentially the bear statues get hit. to a T. You know, we've had the earth, the fire, the wind, the water all get hit. All one's left is basically dark and light. Which, do these need to get hit right now? No, because all the meta decks are either light or dark primarily. So these won't really be used at all. But for a future format, you know, what if the format changes to more water or wind or fire-based sticks, which has been seen in the past. You know, we had Tribegate be dominant for a while. We've had Fire Kings be dominant for a while. You know, we've seen Aqua decks like, let's say, Frogs or Sprite be dominant for a while, which these would be very strong counters to them, right? Maybe a little too strong. So just for principle, I feel like these Barrier Strikes should get hit. And then likewise, Spell Canceller. It's basically a different version like Jinzo. Jinzo's the normal summon tribute card for traps. But since traps aren't that major, and Jinzo's fine, but when spells make up almost half of players' decks nowadays, it seems like. All your stars can a lot of times be spells too. This can just shut down your opponent, and it's something that a lot of decks, a lot of times not having a normal summon. You know, they can easily decide us in going first. Use their normal summon to tribute one extra random card to have on the field, and boom, you just show off half the boom, you just show off half the basically the archetype against your opponent. So very strong card. And then last card that can maybe get banned. It's a weird one here. It's either going to get banned or it's going to get left alone. And this is a card that really should not see itself getting hit. It's mainly because they came out with another card that made this card a little too good. And that's going to be Dark Magician of Destruction. New card coming out. Basically, you can summon it by banishing any level 6 or higher Dark Spellcaster, which just happens to be Dale Bellstar, and basically once this card of play gets you, and it's basically becomes like a 1-card Dragoon for any deck. Alright, so that's a little strong. Okay, Dragoon's a very hard card to kill, especially if that's just your inboard piece that you can play Dragoon, pop it on your opponent's turn, you get an extra interruption. A little too tough, alright? So this card may have to get banned to counter that. Now, of course, Horus may see its take, because if you didn't know, Horus have a card too, card Imse, which is kind of the main combo piece. Likewise, it's easy to summon, easy to search, and is a level 6 or higher Dark Spellcaster card. So if the Abyssal gets hit, you could see Horus maybe hit instead, and even like Shine Sarcophagus, I think even a lot of times go into like the Dark Magician. That's easy to search out too. So I don't know, it's hard to see. You know, is a brand new card. Are they going to hit this card on the side for now? Maybe not, alright, but this is something maybe down the road that this card itself is. This is kind of mainly the problem. So, you know the rules. About every 3 to 6 months, these new cards get reprinted, and then this card may get banned. Alright, but if they do hit the Ailstar, I think they should definitely bring back Sinful Spoils or Snake Eyes. So Snake Eyes don't be a deck, but because the Spoils and the Ailstar Black Witch is gone, Snake Eyes is done. Alright, so that's just a quick thought on that. And then another card that maybe needs to see some ban. Alright, this will be the last kind of ban card. DD Wave King High Caesar. Alright, this kind of plays a little bit into the Fiend Step package, which is an L splashable engine. Just like some people splash it in, you know, the L Star. Some people splash in Sky Striker. People splash in Fiendsmith, because this is a card that can get some interruption, do some burn, get some searches. Alright, but also ends a lot of times on 2 level 6 Fiend monsters. Which then, before you have to commit to an archetype or to really any form of summon, you can get a spell, trap, or monster negate, base negate. This is your out to Nibiru if you play the Fiendsmiths. Right? So it's a strong card, out to Nibiru, out to any interruptions, and it's very splashable. So this part probably needs to see some go. Even out of ban cards now, cards that should probably go to 1. Draw and Lockbird, its cards should quickly go to 1, maybe because it's same kind of effect as Dimension Shifter. Dimension Shifter, if you play it, you're probably going to win the game at that point, because Shifter basically makes your opponent have to skip their turn, because it sends all monsters to the graveyard. So if you're playing against a deck that is reliant on searching multiple times, you play this, it can be a turn skipper. Alright, it can even be somewhat like almost like a call by the grave. Your opponent hits you with a Mill Charming card, pretty strong hand trap for sure. Even taught the Mill Charming may go to 1 or 2. They draw once off of Mill Charming. Drop your drill if you had it going first, and boom, they can't draw anymore. You cancel out that hand trap. Right? So this is very strong. Brand Infusion. This is a card I did not like seeing coming back from 1 to 2, because even at 1, this was your card you always had to drop an Ash. You had to drop a negate on it. You cannot let Brand Infusion activate, because it became a 1-card combo, and if it did come live, a lot of times that player would win the game. But now this is a bait. it's splashed into Draco Tail. Draco Tail is like the best deck right now with branded mixed into it. Right? Okay, they can use a lot of Dragon hybrid cards, and they don't care to be locked into fusion since they fusion themselves. If you're playing against a branded Draco Tail, if they drop branded fusion going first, the first move, there goes your Ash Ball, and there goes your Omnigate, and then they go full Draco combo from there, and you lose. Alright, so this card is one that's probably needs to go back to 1. It's too good. Honestly, I'll be fine to ban this card. This has been used way too long. It's been out for over a year now, almost like 2 years now, I believe, since branded came out in a structure deck. Yeah, man, this came from a structure deck and dominated the meta back then, and it still dominates now. Next one, the Yummy starters. Alright, so I already talked about some hidden with the Yummy cards. I think this is kind of my own mindset here. Anything that's a 1-card starter, you're Rhoda in a sense, because again, I used to always play Dark Warrior, so Reinforcement Army for me was always at 1, so I thought it was always fair. Edo Metal decks, Rhoda should also go to 1. And both of these are actually 1-card combos. Alright, that you add a Yummy spell trap, or that you add a Yummy card when it's a normal summon, and you can kind of go off from there. Alright, usually go into your link plays from there. Link plays gets you more searches, gets you more ads, and you can go off into eventually your Yummy, your Cupsy Yummy way. Alright, will get you cards added back to your hand, you combo off like insane. Alright, so just both of these cards will probably go to 1. Does it hit consistency? Yummy is still like a top 2, top 3 deck right now, even though it's only had like 1 or 2 hits in the gameplay right now. No card, pre-prep. Char should go to 1. And this is going to really take off any non-Mitsurugi ritual decks, because this is like crucial for decks to stay alive, even as rogue decks. But since Mitsurugi is a deck right now, if you didn't know, we support Mitsurugi. Alright, there's a really good combo, like a Splash Pro engine right now, that's basically, you can splash these 7 cards into any deck, and you can get any rank 8 in an Interruption. Right there. Alright, combo being that if you have open up prayers, or you open up the Mitsurugi, Ami, or Habakiri, basically this will basically special summon out this Edo Ami card here, after you've kind of revealed this card, and then it gets tributed. When it gets tributed, you get to add a ritual, and then it spells summon itself back out, which has effect. When your opponent activates a card effect, you can negate it if your opponent doesn't discard, so that forces interaction there, and force them to have to get rid of some cards in their hand, even if they do have to do that part. Alright, but now that you have Ritual, you can now either send the Mitsurugi, or you can send the Futsu to the graveyard to summon each other. Alright, which when either of these cards into graveyard, gets you just another card back to your hand. This is some fodder for your other things if you need to discard or to shuffle cards back. Alright, and then get Soda out. So you have all 3 of these cards out there. 3 level 8 monsters, 1 for Omnigate, with the cost of this 1 prayer or this 1 Mitsurugi. Alright. And then from there, for me, I'm playing this in Tachyon Horus, because it's just that strong of a rank 8 engine. Alright. And from there, I just used the Habakiri, and then I used the Matama to go into rank 8 into cards like my Divine Dragon to search out Tachyon cards, and you can FTK from there. It's a 1-card FTK. Alright, so it's just very strong, and honestly, I've heard rumors that Habakiri may have to get banned too, but they just came out with the new legendary deck, so I don't think they're going to hit them yet. But this is probably the card. If this card gets banned, then this whole deck is dead. Keep that in mind. Alright, so if Habakiri gets banned, this deck is kind of screwed. Alright, because it's the main combo engine. Now, moving out pre-prep, similar to Drone Lockbird, we've seen that people, you lost 1 drill, they side in 1 mistaken arrest, going first. And if you put drill to 1, they're going to play 2 more mistaken arrest. Same effect, but you would play this now going first instead of going second. But shuts off your opponent from adding cards from deck to the hand. So, also card, if you put in drill to 1, you need to put this card to 1 too. Now, hit some more Rotos. Radiant Typhoon's a very strong deck. So to hit Typhoon, we hit this card, which is to add any Radiant monster from your deck to the hand. And you can also service Mystical Space Typhoon. Alright, and I think if you can something activate multiple beasts or something like that. Blah, 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 blah. If you destroy, you can set this card again, activate these effects, but you want to use it once, each of these effects per turn. But you can only use each of these effects blah, 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 once per turn. Alright, so you can use both of them, so you play them both times. So, I don't know, it's just a good Rota for the deck. And then since Draco Tail is the best deck right now, these are kind of 2 1-card starters, Rotas for the deck. This card, you normal summon, lets you add this card back to your hand or set it, then activate it. And this lets you go basically into any fusion for Draco Tail monsters by sending cards from not just your hand, but also your deck or field. It is literally branded fusion for Draco Tail. So they have 2 Century Branded Fusions are playing. Playing 2 of these. For you to get 5 of them now. Alright. So Branded Fusion goes to 1. This card should honestly go to 1 too. And then this card could be fine, I guess. The normal summon, you can like effect failure or impermanent. And then if they don't have the hard draw, you can kind of shut off the deck from there. So it'd be a good hit, honestly. Hit the Ryu. And also hit some strong cards. Vanquish Soul still seeing some play. This is Dorota. It's at free right now. Drop maybe to 2. And also you see Mouse seeing a lot of play too. This has already been hit at least once in the ban list. Has some cards banned actually. I think it's like Dormouse has been banned. Alright. If I'm not mistaken. But it's still a card, still in top 5. Probably need some more hits and consistency. These are you getting some 1-card combos, so drop them from 2, drop them to 1. Alright, so those are going to be kind of all the hits. Again, Fiendsmith only needs to get hit if I'm not going to hit the DD King. May hit this to 1, so you can take out the 1 engraver. You can stop that from ever happening again. So then if it's only at 1, 2 people are not going to play Fiendsmith if it's at 1. So don't hit this. Hit the King, please. Alright. But talk about some cards now that should maybe come back. Alright. So first 5 cards here, cards may come back. You have the Term for Different Dimension. Was a very broken card. It's been banned for over a decade. But since traps are too slow, this won't have a major effect. So you can come back to 1. No one's probably going to use it. That's why we'll test it at 1. Next one. This is the one that has the least likely chance of coming back. Heavy Storm. It's like Harvey Feather Duster, but you hit both fields, not just your opponents, but also yours. And it's the part that hits you, that's why it's still banned. And there are some decks and archetypes out there, and maybe future decks that benefit from blowing up their own backboard. Right? Even like Radiant Typhoon, I think, can get some benefits, and they can like reset their stuff or something like that. It may just be a Mystical Space Typhoon when that happens, but if not, you can see some interaction there. But I don't think it'll be too broken at 1, so they could bring it back at 1 if it's still somehow broken at 1 and reban it, I guess. Next one here. A Premature Burial, it would not be broken. Monster Reborn at 1 would not break anything. Monster Reborn at 3 would not break anything. So I don't think this card coming back to 1 would break anything either. It's not once per turn, I know. Alright, but it has kind of that same restriction. Now, who's going to play a combo that somehow shuffles this back to the hand or bounces it back to the hand to activate it again? Yes, there's probably some random FTK out there, but those FTKs lose to 1 hand trap. Moving to the next 2 cards. Alright, Nightmare Goblin and Norden. Yes, this costs 2 monsters to get an extra normal summon, so you can play it if your combo gets stopped at 2 cards. Maybe have a no extender in your hand, you can summon it at that point, sure. Or you can maybe play it as an extra extender mid-combo. It won't be a big thing, really. Alright, if you stop the majority combo of the first normal summon, then the second normal summon won't be too impactful either. Alright, and then also Norden. This was banned because that was back when rank 4s were very strong. You could OTK Utopia double, basically, and that was a big problem. And there's some other stuff too, like Baguska number 41 is a problem right now. Alright, but this is a card only really going to be summoned with a card like Instant Fusion, and Instant Fusion is that 1, and no one still plays it because a lot of times the archetypes get locked into fusions, or they get locked into XYZs, or the lights, or dark, or the reptiles, or whichever. Alright. So Norden would not probably see much play. Even comes back to 1, it's some random rogue FTK strategy. Just like the Gusta, it's at 1, no one's playing it. Alright. It can come back to 3 for all I care. It's not going to do anything except for FTKs that are easy to stop. And same thing, Summon Sork. It has its errata. It is once per turn. It's not good. No one plays it at 1. No one would pay that fee. So just take it off the list. It doesn't need to be there anymore. Alright. So if that's going to do it for the ban list. Again, that's all my thoughts on it. If I missed any cards or you have your own thoughts on it, leave it down in the comment section down below. But since that's going to do it for the video, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it helps you support me. It helps me make more videos for you to enjoy. Now with that, I hope the rest of the week is blessed, and I'll see you again in the next video. With that in mind, I'm out.